unboxing video. Shit. Hi guys, James here. Welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone's having a great day. In today's video, guys, we are doing a full face of first impressions. Mostly. Except setting powder, brow products. Everything else is brand new. So I'm excited about this video. Let's get straight into it. So firstly, we're going to go in with the concealer. Now, I normally do a little pot concealer on my face. I actually do have one that's new to me. I have used it once, but I forgot to, but when I filmed with this last video, it didn't record the audio. So this is going to be like a second time first impressions with this product. So I'm just going in with this little, what is it? The Kind Collective, a little face palette. It's got this row of color correctors, then we've got concealers and then bronzers. So I'm just going to go in with the concealer today. And I'm going to go in with this shade here, which is the lighter shade. And I'm just going to use this as a spot concealer. And then we'll go in with the foundation and everything else. So I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm just going to move my mirror a little closer to me, just so I can see what we're doing. This is the Kind Collective Face Palette. It is the Express Yourself Concealer and Color Correcting Palette. It is an Australian brand, 12 months expiry date, cruelty and vegan free, and all the packaging from this brand is completely recyclable. And it has 12 times 1.8 grams of product. Now, last time I actually used this palette, I actually found it really, really good, but I do find the concealer a little too thick for like a cream concealer under the eyes. I would use this palette only for color correcting and also being a pot concealer. And then the bronzers actually did work out nicely. They were a little too dark for me when I applied the bronzers, but I managed to like sheer them out with the beauty blender that I have foundation still on. So it did actually work for me, and I do like this product. The only thing is these bronzer little pans are quite small for a bronzer brush. So I actually just mixed both two bronzers with this brush and I applied it. It wasn't the easiest to blend out with a brush, but it was okay with a beauty blender. So just note to self that I will be using beauty blenders when I play with those bronzers in the future. As you can see, I have a lot of outbreaks on my face, especially this little nugget of gold on my face there. So we can't completely conceal everything because we have lumps and bumps all over my face today, which is always everything I ever wanted in life. But it is what it is. We're just going to continue. So I'm just going to quickly spot conceal all my little red marks. I can color correct, but I just don't want to do that today. It is currently 11 PM when I'm filming this, so it's going to be quite late by the time I finish this because I am doing a full first impressions and I want to do everything on camera, or as much as I personally can. I'll probably only do one eye on camera and then just finish off the look off camera just because it will be a little faster that way. I have a little dry patch on my eyebrow here, so we're going to conceal that a little bit, and then I'm going to put a little bit on the same, just because I find if I don't conceal both eyelids like I've done on one side, it can kind of throw off the finished eye look because one shade's got more product than the other. So try and even out my eyes. The rest of my face is okay, but because I don't put foundation on my eyelids, it's a little easy just to make it like matchy. Alright, so we've got a little bit more red spots to cover up. I'm just going to quickly do that off camera and I'll be right back. Alright guys, we are back and I've done the rest of my face off camera. Now it looks a little crazy, but we're just trusting the process. Now I just applied that with a flat little brush. It is a Wet n Wild flat brush that I got from Tammy and Bonnie ages ago. So that is just what I use to apply my little concealer. Now we're going in with a new foundation. I feel like I've got a hair on my eye. You know when you feel like there's something in your eye or on your eyelash? Okay, well, I can't see it, but I feel like there's something there, so we might find it later in this video. Anyway, let's get into the foundation. I'm really excited about this foundation. This is the TirTir Mask Fit Red Cushion Foundation. Now, this viral foundation is everywhere on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. I got it in the shade 23 and Sand. It looks a little yellow, but we're just going to play with it and hopefully it's not too bad. I was not going to buy this foundation. It was available on Amazon for like $35. I wasn't planning on buying this, but I went into a little Korean beauty store here and they actually happened to have 4 on sale. So I thought, well, it's here. Let's try it. It might be my holy grail foundation. We just never know. This is what the little compact looks like. A really pretty red is my favorite color, so I do like the packaging. It does have, it feels luxury, like it does have a good weight to it. It doesn't feel like a cheap plastic. Now it does have a little button here that you press So let's do that. Oh, it pops open. It has a mirror. Not that I will use the mirror, but great for traveling. It comes with this little sponge. I'm going to attempt to apply it with the sponge because that's what everyone's been doing. But I do have a wet beauty blender next to me just in case. Sponge just sits on the top, and then how do we... Oh, we've got another button on the side here. Oh no, it lifts up. Okay, so it lifts... Oh, it's got another mirror there. Okay. Now, I can't read the instructions, but it does have... Sorry. It does have like a little tab that you pull. I'm going to get my tweezers to do that for me because my nails are never going to be able to open that. And then we just... Oh, okay, so we just pull it. And it's like alfoil. Oh, this looks very yellow. Now, my friend Ali Dawson did review this, and she said that it actually does oxidize down. So the fact that this is yellow, like it is yellow. This is the lighter shade they had in store as well. It's very yellow. I'm just looking at it in my viewfinder. I'm scared just because if it does oxidize further down, we're going to look extremely yellow. But we're going to try it. Maybe I'll just get a lighter shade, but this was the lighter shade they had in store, and it was $35, I forgot to mention. So let's just, we just press down the little beauty puff. I'm trying to get like an even coating. That doesn't look even at all, but look at it. That's what it looks like. Like it kind of feels like a paint sponge or ink sponge that you're trying to get the product out of. Like that doesn't look even at all, but let's apply it. Yeah, it's very yellow. It's yellow. It is super yellow, but that is actually surprising how much product there is on this. It didn't look like there was a lot of product on there, but there's actually a lot of product in this little sponge. Okay, so it's the wrong shade. Let's just get that out of that way. It is the wrong shade for me. But it is quite full coverage. As you can see, I do have some extra spots today, so it's covering them nicely. This little spot here does have like a dry patch on it, so the foundation's not really clinging on to that, but that's okay. We are human, so we all have spots, and today I just have some extras, but we're going to continue. Now, I did forget to mention I do have my E.L.F primer on, the sticky primer that I like to use. Now, the reason I didn't buy a primer was because when I find one that works for me, I kind of like to just stick to it. And then that way I can just use brand new products on top of the primer, the foundations and concealers. And it's not a new primer if it doesn't work, it's the product. Like, then I know the primer that I normally use works for me, is just always going to work for me. If it's new product that doesn't work for me, I know it's a new product. So that's why I don't have a new primer, and I don't know if I will buy a new primer. It's going to have to be like really super special for me to buy a new primer, just because I really like this one. Back to the foundation. This foundation, it's very lightweight. It has a funny smell to it, but it's not like... At first I thought it was smelling like paint. You know when you have that like that paint aerosol smell? It doesn't have that, which is good. I don't know if I like this because it always slips off my fingers, so it's hard to control. And I just find it hard to push down the foundation in certain places, especially under my eyes. I'm really trying to get it into the creases and stuff, but because it's so loose, it's very hard for me to do that, because the only pressure points are like the tips of my fingers. The rest of my fingers, there's no real pressure there because I'm trying to keep it taut so it doesn't move. So yeah, I don't really like the applicator, but we're going to try and, like, it's just hard to apply onto the neck with just my fingers. So we're just going to put that aside. I'm going to try it with my wet beauty blender. I have this one here. Does that might be a little too wet. Let me just quickly dry it out in a paper towel because I just feel like it's a bit wet and I don't want to change the consistency of this foundation. So we're just going to squeeze it out extra with some paper towel. There we go, that's a bit better. And we're just going to try picking it up with a beauty blender and see. Like, it doesn't look like there's any product on here at all. Like, very little, but I'm just pushing it down and trying to get as much product. Oh, that's actually more. This beauty blender actually picks up more product than the actual little sponge. Okay, that's good to know. I don't know if it's a good foundation to use a beauty blender with. Because it's round, I can see the little rings where it's leaving and picking up the rest of the foundation. So I'm just having to go over that area. a couple times to get rid of those rings and fill in the spaces where the Beauty Blender has picked up the rest of the foundation. But let's quickly try and do the rest of my foundation with this Beauty Blender. Just because it's something I feel like I've got more control with rather than the finger sponge that I was applying it with before. I'm really trying to focus on my neck to see if it's actually going to cover this darkness right here, which I've been having a problem with in the last couple of months. I had a really big abscess under my skin there, and it went down, but it left a big like dark patch there, which one of my friends thought was a hickey, but I'm 36 years old. I'm not getting a hickey at my age, especially where people can see it. So it's not a hickey, but my friend thought it was a hickey when he first saw it, which was quite funny because he came up to my roulette table when I was at work, because I work in a casino, and he's like, "Is that a hickey?" I'm like, "No, it's just a little outbreak on my neck." And he goes, "Oh my God," from afar. I've been looking at it for the last hour thinking, "I can't believe you are letting everyone see your hickey on your neck." And I was like, "No, it's not a hickey, it's just an outbreak." But yeah, I can understand from afar it does look like a hickey, just because of the colour of it. Alright guys, we are back and foundation is completely done. Now my initial thoughts on this foundation is it's very, very lightweight. It is buildable. I did find it a little sheer across the nose. It wasn't really laying down on the nose, but I have built it up on my nose and I think it's okay for now. It's not completely full coverage. Like my other foundations cover this area a lot more, and my other outbreaks and moles on my face are normally a lot more covered. Like this side, you can really see the spots. And I did spot conceal like I normally do. So I don't think this coverage is a full coverage. I think this is more of a medium coverage in my opinion. We'll see if it oxidizes down. Now, one more thing my friend Ali said about this foundation. She's used it, I think, 2 or 3 times, and her face is a lot smaller than mine. Mine is like a pumpkin-sized face. Hers is more like a, I would say, a big grapefruit, which is a lot smaller. So her foundation is running out after 2 or 3 goes, and I just feel like if hers is already running out, mine's going to run out after the second go. So you're paying $35 for maybe a foundation that might only last you for 2 or 3 full face foundation looks, but we'll see. I'll let you know about that in the future. For now, we'll go on with the concealer. Now, this is a new concealer to me. I forgot I bought this. This is the Sephora Best Skin Ever concealer in the shade... is that a 9 or a 6? That's a 6, in the shade 6. I honestly just forgot I bought this. I think it's just because it's so small, it just probably fit in a bag and I just forgot it was there. So we're going to play with it today. It is plastic sealed. Now, I know when I did buy this a couple of months ago, it was on sale. I don't know if it's on sale now. In that bag, I also did find a single eyeshadow from Sephora, which did have a 40% sticker off on it. I don't know if this is 40% off, but no, the single eyeshadow was. So it was on sale, let's just say. I just want to quickly get a Q-tip because I feel like I've got foundation in my waterline, and I want to get rid of that first. Yeah, I always get foundation in my waterline, especially when I'm trying to get the foundation right in the inner corner. Because I'm part Asian, I have a little extra flap of skin, so it's quite hard to get foundation right there. So I have to really put the Beauty Blender into my eye basically, and I always get it in the waterline. Then I get like a slight milky haze in my sight, so I just know I've got foundation in my waterline. Oh, I did put a little bit of foundation on my eyelids to cover some of that concealer up. I don't always do that, but today I did, and we're just gonna pat out those creases, and we'll just continue with concealer. So this is a new concealer. I always smell my products, I don't know why. This smells okay. It is quite light, which I like. I like a brighter concealer. It does have a little bit of a yellow tinge, which is not going to help with the foundation if this oxidizes, because I'm just going to look super yellow, more yellow than I'm already looking, because this is the wrong shade. We'll see how creamy it is. Do a little bit of a swipe. Oh, I don't like this applicator. A little bit of a swipe there. This concealer feels a little thicker than what I'm used to. It's a little thicker, I'm not gonna lie. I can already tell it's thicker than the E.L.F camo concealer, which I've been using for the last couple months. We'll do a little short foot on the forehead. Okay, now let me just quickly blend this out, because I do have more cream products on my face, and the longer this is on my face, the more creasing I'm going to get. So we're just going to go in with the Beauty Blender and just blend out the cheeks. Oh, that blended out really nicely. Look how quick that was. I thought maybe I would have some problems with this lifting the foundation, just because I was having a lot of problems on my nose with it lifting, but this actually didn't lift at all, which was good, and blended into the foundation nicely. So we're liking that, little bit of a lighter forehead. We're going to put the bronzer on that in a second, so it won't be as light, but blended out very quickly, which is good, and didn't lift anything on my nose, which is good. Just going to blend it out in the inner corner, just because I can see the fine lines where the concealer didn't get right in there, but there we go. That doesn't actually look too bad. So I'm looking into my mirror because I really want to see if this is, like, if it's lifting, if it's doing its thing, and it's pretty good. Like, I'm pretty happy with that. I look very, very pale / yellow, but we will change that with our bronzer now. Now for bronzer, we're going in with this Beauty Bay Make Face palette. This is the multi-use complexion palette. It has 12 different shades in it. All of them are cream except this white shade, which I don't really know what I'm going to use this white shade for. It can brighten up my eyes, but I don't want Flashback Mary situation, so we're probably not going to play with that today. I think we're going to play with this shade and a couple of these shades for contour, but we're going to go in with the bronzer first. We do have the blushes, but I'm going to play with a different blush today, but we'll play with these blushes in another video because I love the orange and the pink blush tones in this palette. Really, really pretty. We also do have like a cream gold highlighter at the moment, but we're not going to play with that because I feel like that's just going to be too gold on my face for my complexion, so we'll probably not play with that shade. Let's quickly go in with the palette. I don't really like the idea of putting a beauty blender that I've used for my foundation on here and then like transferring the foundation into this and then onto my face and back and forth. So we're going to play with this brush here. This is like a cleanish, quite dense brush. It is a base blending brush, so it's basically for base blending. I'm going to go into this shade here, which is the shade Flapjack, and I'm just going to put my brush into it. I'm going to see if that works. If I do need a beauty blender, then we'll just apply it with a beauty blender. Oh, that's pretty. The colour is a little warm for me, but I like that. Like, it's pretty. It's not too pigmented, like it's not overly pigmented. My hair is in the way. I hate my hair sometimes. It just gets all over my forehead when I'm trying to apply stuff. But I actually like that. In the viewfinder, it does look a little orange. I'm looking into the viewfinder, so I can see that it's filming and everything like that. After my last video, I'm kind of paranoid that the camera stops filming and I just didn't see it, and I just keep filming a full face when it didn't actually record anything. So that's why I keep looking into the viewfinder. I do apologize. It is also a new setup. As you can tell, I've got a new background, which I did reveal in my last video. Oh, this is actually blending out really nicely with a brush. I'm just adding a little product at a time, and then I'm just applying it. Normally when I use a cream blush, I exclusively use my LYS bronzer cream blush stick, but I actually saw this palette and I was like, I really like this. Now, Makeup Forever, I think it's Makeup Forever, they have one that's $140 and it's half the size of this palette. It has the 12 shades in it, but it's half the size. Like, take this half away, the 12 shades all fit in one side of this, and I just thought for $140 it's a little small. Plus I knew I'd probably use a brush to apply the product out of that palette with, and just the pan sizes were too small. They're right next to the blush, and I just thought a brush or another brush would just be touching the blush, and I'd be getting blush transfer onto my brush when I'm trying to use bronzer and all that. I just didn't want to have to fight with that. But I saw this on Beauty Bay's website for $40, and the other one was $140 with a lot less product, and I'm just really grateful that I actually saw that and bought this instead, because it's laying down really nicely. Now, I know I'm talking a lot. This video is going to be long, so I do apologize, but I just really want to talk in this video, and I don't know, I like talking in my videos, but sometimes I just feel like the videos are going to be too long, so I try not to talk too much. But I just thought, you know what, this is my channel now. If you don't like me talking non-stop, just put me on mute and watch this video on mute with no sound. That's fair. As long as I get the view, I'm okay. But don't forget to give me a like on this video, even if you do watch it on mute. I don't know, I like talking to you guys. I also do live alone, and my cat died last year, and I don't always have anyone to talk to, so it's nice just to talk out loud and know it's for the video purpose, not just me talking to myself around the house with no reason whatsoever. This is actually a reason for me to talk to myself, which is because I'm filming this video. Anyway, This product is quite nice. I do like this brush. I think I'm going to buy or at least find a couple more brushes like this. I just thought a fluffy brush might not apply the cream product properly the way I like, but this is actually quite nice. And the fact that this brush is not actually lifting any of the base product that I've already laid down is quite nice. So anyway, this is where we are now. I did do like a bit of a contour to my jaw. We are going to go in with a little bit of a smaller brush now. We're going to go in with this little E.L.F brush. And we're going to go in with the darker shade because I want to do like the snatched hollow cheek look. And normally people do that with a darker shade. So we're going to go in with the shade Treacle, which is this one here. I was going to go into this one, but then I thought I might get some controversy if I use that really dark shade on my face. So we're just going to go in with the second darker shade, and we are just going to apply that right here. I probably should have applied it a little higher, but that's okay. We're just going to work with it. Can you see the difference? I don't know if you can see the difference. I can see a line where those two shades are not really blending together. So I'm just going to quickly try and blend those two shades together. Right. I don't know if that was a good idea, but we're going to have to do the other side with that shade because we need to make this face look a little twin-like on each side. That might have been too dark. Yeah, that might have been too much product. We're just going to try and blend that out. There you go, and we need a little bit more product. I thought it was a little too much at first, but now we can't even see it, so. I don't know, I need to know more about contouring, because I don't think this is the way to do it. Now, I am trying to attempt to blend where those two shades meet with a little bit of the excess foundation on the Beauty Blender, but I don't think that did anything. I think it actually made it worse. So, yeah. We're going to continue. I'm going to go in with this little fluffy brush from Morphe. I'm going to go into the Flapjack cream bronzer that I used on the forehead, on the cheeks. And we're just going to lightly contour the side of my nose. I don't want to go in with a Beauty Blender or the bigger brush just because that's going to cover the whole entire nose. We just want the side of my nose to be contoured. And this brush is actually doing a really good job at that. It's just very lightly contouring the nose with that cream product, and I really like the look of that. Alright, nose is done, and I'm really happy with that. Let's move this aside. Now we're going in with my blush. This is the Rare Beauty Dewy Liquid Blush, and this is a little travel size. I just wanted to buy the travel size first to see if I liked it, and if I did like it, I would go in and purchase the bigger size. And this way it just makes it a little bit affordable. Sometimes I buy full size items and I don't really like it. We're doing 3 drops. I think that might be too much, but we've already done it, so we'll just continue. Something inside me saying that is too much blush, but we're going to just try and blend it out. That's very pigmented. It does blend out nicely, which is good. At first I thought it was too much, but now it's too much in that area. It's not really spreading around. So we're going to try and blend it out and spread it out a little bit more on this side. That's a little bit better. Like that is more spread out. This is just concentrated there, so we're just going to put a little bit more on the other side. But before I do that, let me just quickly blend this side out completely. And this color is so pretty. I don't know if I actually told you what color it is. It is in the shade Joy. Look how pretty that color is. Let me put a little bit more on this side, just tiny little drops. One here, maybe one here, and maybe half a drop. Ooh, and maybe half a drop right there, because I want it a little bit more pigmented on this side. I've always liked peachy or pink blushes, hot pink blushes or peachy blushes, and this is a really pretty blush, and it does blend out quite nicely. Now the setting powder I use over this will dull down some of that colour, so if you go a little bit too much, it will be dulled down by the setting powder. If you do set your face, I set my face, but if you are somebody who doesn't set their face, then maybe just go a little bit more light-handed with the blush. But that's up to you. It depends on how much you love blush. I love blush. That is so pretty. I love that. Okay, I'm very happy with that shade so far. Alright, now it is time to set my face. So I'm going to go in with my Center of Attention setting powder. This is not new to me. I have had this for a while. I do have a one size beauty setting powder, but it's a travel size. But because my foundation has been on my face for quite a while, I just want to set my face quickly. So we're just going to go in with the full size setting powder, which is from Center of Attention. And it's a Slay All Day setting powder, translucent. The one size beauty setting powder that I have is a travel size, and it's just a lot of work trying to get this fawn type puff evenly coated with setting powder. And because I've got a little bit of a time crunch on setting my face without getting lots of creases into it, we're just going to go in with this setting powder for today. But I do actually like the one size setting powder. I'm just getting a little bit more powder, and I have a lot on here, so I go on the back of my hand and just tap it out so it's nice and like evenly blended on the beauty puff that I'm using on my face, and that just kind of gets the whole entire face set evenly, not just in the big patches of powder on one side and not the other. So we go in with my problem areas: T-zone, forehead, around the mouth, because I do talk quite a lot, and also under the eyes. Alright, we are back and face is completely set. I do want to just quickly, we're going to zoom in, guys. We're going to zoom into my face and we're going to see this up close and personal. I don't know if you can see my nose, but my nose, the foundation's lifting right here. And I'm not too happy about that, just because it hasn't been on my face that long, and right here, it's lifting. I am sorry about that. I probably should have given you a fair warning about me zooming into this, but I wanted to show that this foundation is lifting on my nose. Nowhere else but the nose. Now, I do have problems on my nose sometimes with foundation staying on, so it might not be the foundation. It could be just my nose. But I just wanted to mention that. Anyway, let's continue on with the eyes. So, for the eyes, we are going in with this beautiful palette that I have been wanting forever. This is from Beauty Bay. It is the Smoky palette. It is the 42 color palette, the cool tone, like smoky grey tone palette. Oh my god, it's stunning. I have been wanting this palette for ages. I used to have the Blowing Smokes Colourpop palette, but that broke on me. And after it broke, I just thought, you know what, let's just bite the bullet and buy this palette. This palette was free. That's right. I spent my tribe points, my Beauty Bay tribe points, 2,000 tribe points for this palette. So this palette was free. I did have to pay shipping, but that's a different story. I was buying other stuff anyway. But this actual palette was free in my order, so I'm very, very happy with it. 42 shades. The shimmers, I don't know if you've seen the shimmers. Like, the shimmers in this palette are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We've got like silvers and gunmetals. We've got all the grey shades we ever want, and some black shades as well. Absolutely pretty. So that is the palette and the colour story we're playing with today. Now this palette is very big. I'm not going to hold up the palette and show you every shade I'm using, just because it's very, very big. But you will see the shade that I'm using, and I will tell you the names of each shade. I think we're going to start off with a light transition shade. I think I'm going to go into the shade Magnet, which is like a light grey matte gunmetal shade. And we're just going to apply that on the outer edge. Now we'll do one eye on camera, and then the other one will be off camera, just to save some time. And we're just going to blend that out onto the outer corner. We're not going to do a wing, we're just blending out a little bit. And oh, that shade is blending out so nicely. I'm going to bring the camera in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Not too much, I don't want to scare you again, but I think this way you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. So we're going to blend up towards the eyebrow, and I'm only picking up a little bit of product at a time because I don't want any fallout under my eye, because we've done the base. Anyway, while I do this, I hope everyone's having a good day, week and month wherever they are, and staying warm / cool wherever you are. I know here we are in the middle of winter, but I know in America, where a lot of my friends and viewers are from, it is in the middle of summer there, so they are fighting the heat as we speak. And then come Christmas, I'll be fighting the heat and you will be fighting the cold. I am loving this eye. I'm just going to start in the inner corner with the same shade, and I'm switching to the Morphe M506 brush. I just wanted to quickly mention that before I continue talking to you guys in this video. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I hope everyone's looking after themselves. It is coming up to Halloween. I have seen a lot of people doing like Halloween shop with me videos, like the Halloween decor, especially in the States or America. We don't really celebrate Halloween too much here. It is getting bigger and bigger every year in Australia. But for the last 10, 11 years that I've lived in this house, we haven't had anyone like doing trick or treat or knocking on the doors for candy. I think there is like a website or a community website where you can put your house on the list for people to knock on your doors if you want them to. But not everyone just knocks on random doors and hope that people do have lollies for them. Also, I have actually been working every single time Halloween is on the official Halloween night. I do usually see people knocking on people's doors and walking around in costumes in the street with their parents and stuff, or the little kids. But that is usually when I'm actually going to work. So that is probably why I haven't had anyone knock on the doors, just because I'm not home to greet them. Also, I do have a gate outside my front door, so they can't actually knock on the door. They can ring the doorbell, but obviously if no one comes, then they know no one's at home. I don't actually do anything Halloween decorations outside my house or anything like that, because I feel like that attracts people knocking on your doors. Also, I tend to eat all the chocolate before I give it out to people, so I don't actually usually have any treats to give to people, just because I've eaten all of them, because I'm constantly eating all my fillings inside my house alone here. But that's just me. I do actually like seeing all those little shop with me videos on YouTube. My friend Ellie Dawson does some, and she always does her background for not Halloween, but what's it called? Autumn, spring, autumn, the fall season. That's the one. So I always do look forward to those shop with me vlogs, just because we don't really have them here in Australia. We have some decorations, but nothing compared to the States. Like, their decorations are out of this world. I wish we kind of had that here, but then it would be a reason for me to spend more money, and I don't really need another reason. Anyway, I'm really happy with the way that eye looks. We are going to go in with the darker shades. I don't want to go in the dark black shade. I kind of want to go into the next darker shade, which will probably be Tuxedo, this one here. So we're going to go into this shade. It's more of a charcoal black, while the other one is more of just like a matte black. So we're going to go into that, and I'm just going in with my Morphe M506 brush, and I'm just going to put that onto the outer corner right here, and we're going to blend out like a smoky toned outer corner just here, and also along the lash line before I put the shimmer on, because once I put the shimmer on, it's a lot harder for me to blend out the matte shadows without knocking the shimmer all over my face and all over the cheeks that I've just worked really hard on. So we're just putting a little bit of that dark smoky tone. Look at that, that's already changed that eye look into something more spectacular, which is exactly what we're going for. Alright, this eye is looking nice. I'm just doing the same in the inner corner with that darker shade that I did on the outer edge quickly, and then I will be right back and we can continue on with the shimmer, because this eye is looking really pretty. Alright everyone, we are back, and I've finished blending with those matte shades. I'm really loving the way this is looking. Now I know it's a little scary, but we are playing with darker matte shades today. But now the real fun starts. We're going to go in with my glitter glue. This one is from NYX, and we're just going to put a little bit into the center of the eyelid to really lock in the shimmer that I'm going to apply to do the halo effect. Now I do always go in with a little bit of glitter glue into the center of the eyelid when I do a halo look, because the glitter or the shimmer that I use is going to be right into the center in the middle part of the matte shadow, so I really want it to stay there in place. So put a little bit on this eye with a little bit of a flat packing brush, not too much, but it's going to be right in the center of the eye, just here. And oh god, we have so many shimmers to play with. I mean, so many shimmers, but I really want to go in with the shade Glass, which is like a bluish grey gunmetal, and it's so pretty. I don't know if the cameras are doing it justice. So pretty. So we're going to go into that shade here. Oh, actually, it's not that shade, it's this shade. This one here, the lighter shade. So we're going to put a little bit on to my finger. I've not swatched any of these shades, and obviously I'm not going to swatch every single shade for this video. We're just going to touch the shades that I'm playing with today. Now I'm just swirling my finger through this, and it is so creamy. Oh my god, the payoff that I hope, oh my goodness, it is beautiful. Like, Beauty Bay's shimmer formula, it's out of this world. Look how pretty that is. It has like a greyish blue shimmer to it. Oh my goodness. That is exactly what I was hoping for, and Beauty Bay shimmers never disappoint. They always deliver on pigment, creaminess, butteriness, and just reflect. Like, look at that. You will be able to see me from the back of any stage or any room if I'm sitting in the dark looking a bit creepy. I mean, that is beautiful. Now, I do have some edges where the shimmer and the matte meet, so we're going to go in with a fluffy little brush here, and we're just going to dip into the lighter grey shade that I initially used, and we're just going to press into the shimmer with that shade, just ever so slightly. I go in with a fluffier brush, and that way it doesn't knock any of that shimmer off, so we're just tapping the matte shadow just where the matte and the shimmer meet, so it kind of blends the shimmer together ever so slightly, like we're putting a little bit of powder each time, and we're not brushing onto the shimmer, because if we brush, that will knock some of that shimmer off, and we don't want that all over our face, especially when we've already done all that hard work on our base. And that there is basically one finished eye. So let me quickly do the other eye off camera. I'm also going to do the bottom lash line with the two matte shades that I've used, the lighter and the darker shade, and then we're going to go in with a little bit of shimmer in the center of the bottom lash line as well, and then probably go in with a dark black liner in the waterline. So let me quickly do all of that, and then I'll come back and we can finish off this look with some highlighter, lipstick and lashes. Actually, I might put the lashes on before I come back just to save some time, and brows, just because I don't have any new brow products. But everything else will finish on camera when I come back. Alright guys, I am back with both eyes done, my lashes on, and also the eyeliner in my waterline. I just went in with a black waterline. Lashes, I went in with these 1000 Lash Enhanced Beauties 3D collection in the shade, or in the style Queenie. I forgot to show you what they look like before I put them on my eyes, but these are what they look like on the eyes. I really like these because the band is nice and thin, so it's easy to work with. I find some of the really thick ones, when I look down for photos, you can see the plastic band, and it is quite noticeable, but these you don't really have that intense band that you can see the reflection of in the lights in photos. So I like that. Anyway, I'm rambling. So let's continue with the look. Also, I just want to quickly mention the foundation doesn't seem to be lasting. It's cakey around the mouth, like it's starting to dry out. I have a lot of dry patches where that foundation is, it's not breaking down, but it's looking really, really dry. So I need to hydrate my face. I'm going to just quickly do that with some Max Fix setting spray. Oh, and I did also switch my shirt because I wanted a new shirt without all the foundation lines. I probably will still have that because I will probably touch my neck to my shirt, but there's less of those foundation lines in the photos that I'm planning on taking after I film this video. Just trying to air dry my face. It was just looking very dry. The forehead, you can see a lot of creasing. Under the eyes, there's a lot of dry patches. Like it's just, it's not looking good. Right here. Forehead, I have had to touch up with some powder, and around the mouth, it's just, she's looking crusty, which is not great. My other foundations don't tend to do that so quickly. They do that, but hours later. This is it's not becoming my favorite foundation. I do like the blush that I played with. The blush is really pretty. The bronzer, cream bronzer I applied was really nice, and the contour, well, you can't really see the contour of my cheeks, but it was okay. But anyway, let's continue with finishing this look. I'm going to go in with this highlighter. This is the Makeup Revolution highlighter. It looks like a petri dish. It's giving me Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette vibes. This is in the shade Bubble Balm Ice Rose, and it is like a balm foundation. So I don't know how that's going to work with this, what do you call this, cakey dry foundation that's starting to lift, especially on the nose. The cheeks are okay, but the nose, it's lifting, and I powdered twice off camera and it's not behaving. So I'm going to go in with this kind of fluffy, intense face brush. It does have the fine like white hairs, but then the darker hairs are a bit more intense and dense. So we're just going to swirl the brush into this. It's like a jelly with balls in it. I don't know if I picked up any. I can't see anything on the brush at all. Like, I can't see anything. I'm just going to swirl the brush in this on both sides and hope for the best. It's starting to look a bit, it's not as good. The highlighter is adding some colour to the white hairs on the brush, so there's a little bit of rose tint on the white hairs. So let's apply it. Hopefully this doesn't lift all the foundation and the powder. I can see it, but it's not giving me the blinding glow that I like. Like, you can definitely see it. But I'm basically painting this jelly-like substance on my face. So it's not blending into the skin, it's sitting on top of the skin. And I don't know if it's going to look good over powder. It's starting to look a bit, starting to kind of lift the foundation and the powder. Like it's giving me the separation that you tend to see over time with foundation. Like that's what's happening right there. I can see the separation happening as I'm brushing. So this is actually lifting the base, this foundation, or this highlighter, sorry. I don't like that at all. Like it's giving me beautiful glow, but at the base cost, which is not what we like. So we are not going to finish with this highlighter. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in with this powder foundation from Teamy. I got it from Teamy, and I never did an unboxing video because shit. Well, I think I'd spray that highlighter. 1 second. Okay, well surprisingly it didn't break. I don't think so. This is what it looks like. I've swirled my finger throughout it. Very pretty rose gold moment. I'm going to get a new highlighter brush that I have in my little container here. I bought these highlighter brushes because they were on sale from Mecca. And these are going to be perfect for my highlighters. I only bought these because I was planning on doing a whole lot of first impressions videos, and then I'm too lazy to clean my brushes, and these were on sale. So, oh my god, I can't get it out. There we go. So it's just a fluffy highlighter brush. It's kind of flat, so it's almost like a fan. But we're going to apply this on the other side. This is a Teamy highlighter. That was what I was saying before I dropped it. I'm just going to swirl my brush in. It doesn't look like there's anything coming off on the brush. Oh, there's some. There it is. So it's very subtle. Let's apply this on the face. I did do like a Teamy haul, and I was going to unbox up my channel, but I didn't like the items I got, and I didn't like the video, so I never did it. Oh, there's a little bit of a highlighter there. It's very glittery. It's very glittery. Very subtle, this highlighter. Like, you can see it on my cheeks, but it's not giving me the highlighter vibes that I like. I love a good glowy highlighter, and this is just very subtle. Even the nose. Probably won't use that either because it's not giving me the highlighter vibes that I want. But the highlighter I do want to try in the inner corner is this NYX Jumbo little highlighter stick. Oh, sorry, little highlighter stick moment. It is a purpley, pinky highlighter iridescent moment. I'm going to swatch it on the back of my hand so you can see. So it's a little purple holographic moment. I'm going to put that in the inner corner and just see if it will actually apply nicely over the powder eyeshadow in the inner corner. Oh, that is really pretty. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but in person, that is so pretty. Let me do the other side quickly. I probably should have done this before I put the lashes on because I'm struggling to get it in the inner corner without getting the edges of the lash, but oh, that is pretty. That is so pretty. I need you to see this moment. Can you see that pop of colour in the inner corner? This side I always struggle with getting the inner corner to pop. I don't know, the other side looks better, but this side never looks the same. I can never get it as intense. And I pack on the inner corner highlighter, but you can never really see it. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but in the lights, in person, it's really, really pretty. Anyway, so that's a win. Oh god, my camera's all over the place. There we go. That's a win for this inner corner highlighter. I'm not going to use it on the brow today just because it's not going to go with the eyeshadow look. I think we need another highlighter for the brow. So we're just going to go in with this Colourpop one. Now this is a broken Colourpop highlighter. All of these are actually broken, so if I tip it out they will fall out. So I have to be careful when I use this. And we're just going to go in with this Champagne Light highlighter. It's a bit yellow, so it might show up as a yellow highlighter, but we're just going to go in with that shade anyway onto the brow bone. Because I love a little bit of a brow highlighter. Hopefully you can see that on camera. I like the Super Shock highlighter formulas from Colourpop. They are very good. It's just a shame that I dropped this highlighter palette and all these shades broke. That is the brow highlighter moment done. I feel like I need a little bit of that on the cheeks because the cheek highlighters are not doing it for me. Going in with that brush, and we're going to go in with the Super Shock highlighter moment because we need a little bit more highlight on the cheeks. It's just not, it's not enough in my opinion. This is a pretty eye look. So we need a matching highlighter moment for this eye look. Again, the Super Shock formula is outstanding. It's great as an inner corner highlighter, brow highlighter, cheek highlighter, but also an eyeshadow topper. Oh, that's a bit better. That's better. I'm happy with that. Alright, let's quickly just finish off the look with the lips. For the lips, I'm going in with a black lip liner. I actually use this for my waterline as well, but I feel like they're okay for lips and eyes. So I'm just going to go in with this black lip liner. And then we're going to go in with a black matte Colourpop lipstick. Ooh, alright, and that is the lips done. I've got butthole lips, but that's okay. I really like this lipstick. This lipstick is a matte formula from Colourpop, but it also has like a gloss, so it's very, very glossy and very comfortable on the lips, very lightweight. Lip liner slash eyeliner is the DB Cosmetics 2-in-1 liner, so you've got the black shade and then you've got like a rosy gold shade as well. I accidentally bumped the end so it's all flat, but there's a rosy gold moment, so you can put that as inner corner highlighter or a brow highlighter. This pen is very good for that. But yeah guys, this is the final look. Let me quickly spritz my face one last time. Ooh, and then I will show you the final look in all its glory in a little zoom in moment, and then we can zoom out and talk about everything that I tried in this video. This is the final result. I just zoomed you in so you can see everything in its glory. I love the eyeshadow look. Like, the eyeshadow formula is amazing. But yeah, this is the final look. And now that you've seen the final look, let me go over all the new items that I tried. So the first item is the Kind Collective little face palette. I do like this. I only used the one shade for the concealer. And like I said before, I do like this little face palette, but the formula is a little thicker than what I'm used to, so I'm still getting used to that. But I do like the actual product itself. Next, we have this TirTir foundation. Now, this little foundation, the packaging is cute. This is what it all looks like. It didn't oxidize that I noticed on my face, or at least not enough that I noticed. The formula is very, very lightweight, but I would call it a medium coverage, at least for me, over a full coverage. And I like a full coverage moment. I am a guy with texture, shaving rashes, and everything else, so I like a full coverage moment. This is probably not full coverage. It is buildable, but it's not something that I love. Then over time, I just noticed it was starting to really get dry on my face. And then also the nose, I had to touch up 3 times over this whole entire look. And I just didn't like that I had to touch it up. My other foundations, I might have to touch it up once, if that once, but not 3 times. So I don't know if I would continue to use this. If someone asked me if they should buy it, I wouldn't recommend it in my opinion, but it is still something that I wanted to try, and I'm glad I did. I don't know, Michaela loved it. She got a Birkin bag from the company on TikTok. The company is actually Korean, and they flew Michaela out to see Korea and also their headquarters, and she got a Birkin bag out of it because she sold so many people. The only thing with Michaela's reviews on TikTok is she always has a beauty filter on. So you can never actually see what the foundation looks like when it's laid down on the face. Plus, she never does like a 9 to 10 hour wear time. I'm not going to do that with this video because it is currently almost 3 o'clock in the morning and I don't have a 9-hour time to wear this on my face. But I think in 9 hours this would look a lot more drier and it would look a lot more creased and cracked, and that just doesn't sound fun for me, so I'm not going to wear it for 9 hours. Next we have this Beauty Bay Make Face Multi-Use Complexion palette. Now I did only use these 2 shades out of this palette. I love the bronzer. Oh my god, one of these shades has a hair in it. My hair, not from the actual palette. It's my hair because that's the shade I used. Anyway, back to reviewing this. I like this bronzer shade so much. It blended out really nicely on the face with the brush. The contour was probably a little too dark for me, and I don't really know much about contour, so I need to learn more about contouring. But the actual formula from both shades do blend out really nicely, and I'm excited to try these blushes because these blushes are so pretty. Talking about blush, we have the little Rare Beauty travel size coral blush in the shade Joy. So cute. Look how tiny it is. That is so cute. But the actual pigment of it is so pretty. Blended out quite nicely. At first I thought it was too pigmented, but I did actually end up adding more blush to my face, and I really love the colour of it, so that is a win for me. Next we have the eyeshadow palette. This beautiful eyeshadow palette is stunning. Yes, I only used 3 shades out of this palette, and I didn't swatch any of the shades for you, like the shimmer shades, just because there's just too many shades to swatch. And I also just don't really find swatching eyeshadow palettes that reliable when you convert it to being on your eyes, just because the shimmers do perform better when you swatch it under pressure with your finger on your arm compared to your eyelid. So I just don't swatch eyeshadows too much. But this is the eyeshadow palette. I did use the shade Magnet, and then we used the shade Tuxedo, which was the dark shade at the bottom. I don't even think I told you the shade name. And then for the shimmer I went in with the shade Glass, which is this little moment here. Very, very pretty, and I really love the halo eye that I created. The shade blended out really nicely. They are pigmented, very easy to work with. I'm really happy with this look. The inner corner highlighter moment with this NYX Jumbo pen, I really like it. I don't know if it's transferring on camera, but in person it's very pretty, and that is in the shade Blueberry Muffin. I might have forgotten to tell you about that. Oh, I forgot about the Sephora concealer. I like this concealer. It blends out really nicely as well. I just forgot I had it, so I'm glad that I found it and got to try it. I will play with this a bit more because it might not just be the foundation, it might be the concealer. They are both new, so I'm not 100% sure if it's a concealer under the eyes or the foundation that's really, really dry, but one of the two are not working. They might just not work together. I'll try those two separately in other videos and let you know. And then lastly, this bubble highlighter just didn't work for me at all. I don't think I'll use it again because it did actually lift the base on my face, which didn't help with the separation of the foundation that was already happening. So that is a no for me for that highlighter, but it is something that I wanted to try, and I'm glad I did, but it's a no for me.